I got your Colgate toothpaste, the one with tartar control, and it made me feel like a piece of shit!
Welcome back. We're fighting these little crazy-legged balls. These were
Crazy-legged balls.
These were from Metal Gear 4, yeah.
You fight a lot of them in this game.
You fight so much. They were such a pain.
They were a fucking pain in this one, too. They do, like, no fucking damage. And they just hop on you and do that shit.
Yep.
And leave you completely open to stronger enemies.
I hated them. They showed up in the Shadow Moses parts.
Did they?
I think that's the first time you see them was in Shadow Moses, but they show up towards the end of the game. Like, they were patrolling Shadow Moses, and they're like the main enemy.
Gotcha.
That's in that warehouse, I think, or in the whole complex. Last episode we were talking about soundtracks in games.
Yes.
Zelda games always have top tier soundtracks.
Oh my god, they have great ones.
Fucking
unassuming
love Zelda games.
Unassuming soundtracks from like well-known bands, and bands that make homage to video games too.
Chop.
Like The Advantage.
The
or
Advantage.
Mini Bosses. Or
Yes.
Mocha.
I'm trying to think of bands that I know that have done homages and like named one of their songs like after, or like made reference to a game within their song. I'm trying to think of some.
Well, not video game, but I know Led Zeppelin was really into Lord of the Rings.
Oh hell yeah! There's so many bands that like make homage. Like even naming their band after Lord of the Rings, like trivia or things like that. Just
Yeah, right.
Angmar or Angband or
Gorgoroth, the black metal
Gorgoroth.
band.
Yep.
Fucking,
Ah.
Burzum, fucking
Mm-hmm.
Count Grishnak.
I think there's even what's one of the towers called? Isn't one of the towers
Angband.
There's
And Barad-dûr.
Dur?
Angband and Barad-dûr. And I guess, what was the Gondor, Tower of Gondor called or whatever? It was
Yeah,
like the Silver Spire or something like that.
maybe.
I'm probably just bullshitting, though. I haven't read Lord of the Rings since junior high, I want to say. It's been a while.
Been a minute.
It's been a while!
It's been a min.
So it's been a while.
Speaking of
It's been a
soundtracks, we
while.
made that joke last episode.
It's a good joke.
It's a great joke. And so is It's Been.
1 week since you looked at me. Oh, yeah. You know what? Soundtrack song scars me to this day, though.
What's
What's
that?
up?
It's not a video game. It's from a movie.
Okay.
It's from the Spider-Man 1 soundtrack. It's a song called Hero. And yep, it was Saliva featuring the lead singer of Nickelback.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
And then they did Photograph, right?
Nickelback did Photograph, yeah.
Well, didn't they do that in the Spider-Man soundtrack?
No.
They didn't? Because
Nope.
he's Peter Parker, he takes pictures?
Nope.
Makes sense.
Photograph came out in like 2007.
Then for Spider-Man 2?
Nope, that was 2003.
Bummer. It would have made a lot more sense. Look at this graph. Look at this giraffe.
I love the fucking memes. Look at this meme.
Look at this
Got a picture of
meme.
fucking Pepe.
Look at this Pepe.
Oh god, son. Oh Jesus. Oh, they got me. I done goofed.
It's those freaking ball leg men. Leg balls. Fucking,
I don't even know what they're called.
I don't either.
I'm just calling them pieces of shit. Just like that Colgate toothpaste. I'm getting meta up in here.
Heyo.
Colgate toothpaste.
Because it makes me feel like a piece of shit.
That's a glowing ad.
Oh, fuck.
It's like Colgate toothpaste. Makes me feel like a piece of shit.
I wish Tourette's guy never died.
Right?
Oh shit.
I'm gonna say some.
He's from like this area, wasn't he?
He's from Bismarck.
It's crazy. So fucking crazy.
Like how we're talking about soundtracks in games.
Yeah.
The best game that has a great soundtrack is probably the Grand Theft Autos.
Oh yeah.
They always
Oh,
have
dude.
just the best songs.
It's so
Solid
varied, so much
soundtrack.
variety.
I know, because they had like Slayer, they had Rain and Blood in Vice City,
Yep.
along with like Billie Jean. I was like,
Yep.
this is amazing.
Like an actual radio.
Like it
That's
would
so
have
cool.
it would have all that stuff. It had
Yeah.
Video Killed the Radio Star. It had Billie Jean. It had
Talk radio.
all that talk stuff. Oh my god. I would just put that on and listen to like
Holy
the first
fuck.
when I played the Grand Theft Auto 3. I would just put on Chatterbox because I just liked listening to Laszlo and all their different commentary.
Well, that's
things.
part of the reason a lot of times when I'm playing Grand Theft Auto, I just drive around. It's
And listen
it's
to
like
stuff.
just cruising, just virtual cruising.
Another one is the Fallout series. They have like those old classic songs
Yep.
that are kind of just fun to romp around and kill things.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys seen, but I was really into when Dark Souls, the first Dark Souls came out, and they had like trailers for it. They played the song called Bartholomew by The Silent Comedy. It's a really badass song, and in contrast with the actual game footage, it made everything look way more badass.
That's sweet. They've done in the last few years too. They've done a really good job of making trailers, like music,
Oh hell yeah!
work with trailers in games to really set the mood.
Not close enough.
The trailers really become an art form in and of itself at this point.
I know, and just the promotional things that they do for games now is
For anything, really, though.
Yeah.
You know, even with movies.
they stepped it up a bit.
Yeah.
And games have way bigger budgets, it seems, than movies most of the time. So they put a lot of it into the marketing.
It depends,
money.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would depend.
Because you think some video games cost like $500 million to make?
It depends. I'm sure, like the last game that
AAA ones probably cost pretty
yeah,
heavy.
but the turnaround on them is so much. There's more time put into it than a movie. Because there's
Right.
there's this game that
They're
was
making
in development
games.
for
They're making games for years.
yeah.
They have to pay people for years.
The Last Guardian was the one that's been like a 10-year. It's been like
Yeah.
a decade since they said, oh, this game's coming out called Last Guardian for the PlayStation 3. Nope, it hasn't come out. And then PlayStation 4 rolls around, still hasn't come out. And then yeah,
Bada bing, bada boom.
there it is.
I'm glad it didn't pull a Too Human and just absolutely suck when it came out. Or I guess Duke Nukem Forever. Oh,
Truth.
shit.
I don't know if you remember the promotional things for the Grand Theft Auto 5, like the newest Grand Theft Auto. They played Stevie Wonder, Skeletons, I think it was, and that was their song that they chose to actually promote the new game. And I was like, hey, that's kind of interesting. It's
Right.
kind of like an 80s throwback kind of song. I don't even know when that song came out, but I thought then it would take place in like the 80s or have something to do with the 80s, but I guess it was reminiscent of the people that grew up in the 80s, because the people you play as, like,
They would have been like younger people.
they would have been a little bit younger, and yeah,
Probably our age in the 80s.
could have been.
Oh, is it boss fight time?
So Metal Gear Solid 4,
Yeah.
Guns of the Patriots,
Yeah.
cost about $50 million to make.
What was the development
Yeah.
span?
I have no idea.
I should look up the cost of, or the cost so far of Star Citizen.
Really?
It's like a 100% crowd-funded game, and there's been a lot of money put into it.
Oh,
I put a lot of money into it. I got that founder pack, yo. That game is a lot of fun.
Her name's Lestrade.
Mistral.
Oh, I was like, from Sherlock? This reminds me of Drebin from Metal Gear Solid 4: Guns of the Patriots, where he kind of explained who you killed.
All right.
After you kill the Beauty and the Beast people, like you kill the octopus girl, and then Drebin comes in. He has this huge long. He talks about this. Oh, she was born in this thing, and she grew up with 8, and her sister died.
So
just kind of telling you after the facts, like, okay, thanks for bringing me down. Like, I just killed this lady. If you told me this stuff, I would have thought twice about it.
I've got a list of most expensive video games to develop.
Yeah.
Would you like a top 5 or a top 10?
We will get to that in the next episode.
Well,
stay tuned, everybody.
Hold your horses.
Hold your horses. We'll see you later.
Wow.
Bye.
Gooby.